Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have an affordable products video for you, and this is an affordable products worth the hype / worth purchasing. Some of these things have been talked about a lot, and some of these things are just my personal favorites which I use a lot and I think are definitely worth picking up. And this video is very exciting because it's actually in collaboration with my friend Michelle, who lives over in Australia. I love her channel. She's just so lovely and I love her tutorials and her beauty recommendations and her get ready with us videos, which are the best thing that I have ever watched. They are so funny. So I'll leave links to her channel on the screen now, on the end card and in the info box for you to go check her out. Definitely do. I'm sure you will love her channel as much as I do. But yeah, we've got a mixture of skincare, hair care and makeup here, so I'm gonna get started. So I'm gonna get started with something that I have had for a very long time, and I've mentioned a couple of times before, but I've actually started using this a lot more recently. This is Soap & Glory's one heck of a blot powder. I can't speak today. This is a really lovely lightweight powder, and I find that in the summer months this is just the perfect product to use to eliminate any shine on my skin and just set everything in place. I've been using this a lot just throughout the day when I need a top up of kind of anti-shineness. I just pop this in my handbag and it has been so handy. I think the quality of it is beautiful for the price point, and I really do love Soap & Glory products. I really need to purchase some more from them because everything I try I generally like. So next I thought I'd talk through a couple of products that have been talked about a lot recently, by myself included in that. I have been loving the Tanya Burr Soft Luxe collection recently, and I'm not just saying this because she is my friend. I genuinely think this collection is incredible. These are my two favourites and the ones that I would recommend picking up above everything else. The first one is the Tanya Burr Cosmetics Birthday Suit palette, which for me, being a warm eyeshadow lover, this is just my perfect palette. So you have a beautiful shimmery neutral shade, and who doesn't love a shimmery neutral shade? I do. And then you have Toast, which is a lovely matte warm brown, and it's unlike anything else I own. I don't think I've ever come across any other drugstore products that have a shade quite like this. So for me this is just a winner because it just has some of the most unique shades in it that I've never really come across before, and even the dark matte brown has a lovely warm tone to it, and they're really easy to blend out. The quality of the shadows are gorgeous. Even the shimmery kind of glittery shade, which is called Cocoa Sugar, that is beautiful as well. These three are my go-tos and I use this on a daily basis now, like no joke. This is amazing. I love it so much. And then Tanya Burr's Martha Moo lipstick is one of my absolute favourites. I've been wearing this all the time at the moment. Everyone's been asking what's been on my lips and it's always this. You do get a lot of product on the wand, and I would say that you definitely don't need everything that comes out. I really do use a tiny amount and I'm very sparing when applying it, and I find that that's the best way to be with this. Otherwise you can get a bit too much product buildup. But for an affordable product, I think this is incredible. The shade is so unique and just so pretty. It's very similar to Anastasia Beverly Hills Crush. So if you are looking for an affordable version of that, then this is the go-to. It's also a lot more hydrating than the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipsticks. I hate those things. I honestly, the second I put them on, I regret it because it's so drying, but this is not drying at all. It's amazing. And I do find that as long as you apply very thin layers, you can build up. So you can reapply after eating and you don't have any build-up problems or anything like that. So these two products are definitely the two worth purchasing. Next I have a foundation and a bronzer, and they're both kind of from the same family, so I thought I'd talk about them together. This is the L'Oreal Nude Magique Cushion Foundation, and I would say out of all of the foundations on the high street, this is my absolute favourite. It just has such a beautiful coverage and a real glow to it, and it just makes my skin look amazing. It looks so luminous. I love it a lot. I've spoken about this quite a lot over the past few months, so sorry if you have watched all of my videos and you're like, I'm so bored of hearing about this foundation. But I really do love it, and I feel like it's one of the few foundations on the high street as well that doesn't break me out. There is less than a handful of them. My skin is very sensitive, and this one is one of them, and it just gives the most beautiful luminous glow to my skin. I do find that because it is so glowy, you do need to powder if you want it to last for a full day, but for me, I don't really mind popping this in my bag and reapplying. It comes with the little sponge thing that you can reapply with. I don't love this because I just feel like you could wash it, but it just gets here and makes a bit of a mess. Because of the sponge, it can be a great travel product, and I just love this foundation. I think it's just one of the best on the drugstore high street market, and I probably won't stop talking about this for a very long time. So out of all the foundations out there right now, I definitely would say that this one is worth the purchase and worth trying out if you haven't already. And next we have the Nude Magique Foundation's little sister. This is the L'Oreal Glam Bronze Cushion de Soleil. I love this. The second I realised that this was in stock in stores, I picked it up straight away. It was on Snapchat. I was like, oh my god, what is this? I need this. This is just the most beautiful bronzer. It gives such a lovely glow and it's not too intense, which is quite nice for me, and it makes quite a nice change because I normally go heavy on the bronzer and this is a lot more of a lighter one that you can build up, but it just gives the most beautiful glow, especially if you apply it to your temples. It makes it look like you have holiday skin and I just love that. This is just one of my favourite bronzers out there at the moment, and you will have probably seen me apply this quite a few times. I will link some videos below where I've applied this because you need to go and check it out because it is so beautiful. So I would definitely say out of all the cream bronzers, this is one to go pick up. Actually, out of all of the high street bronzers, I think this is my all-time favourite. It is just gorgeous, so I will definitely be using this for a very, very long time. Next up, we have a tiny little product that is most definitely worth the hype. These are the Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24-hour cream eyeshadows. The shade I have here is the shade Pink Gold. This isn't one that I wear all the time, but I've actually realised that I have lost my all-time favourite shade of these, which is actually the Colour Tattoo Leather Effect in, I think it's Rose something. It is the most beautiful dusky rosy colour. I absolutely adore it. I'm gonna have to go out and pick it up. I think these are amazing shadows. They last forever on your eyes. They really don't budge and they are the most beautiful consistency. They don't really go patchy at all or anything like that, and they apply it like a dream. You can apply them with fingers. So it's great if you prefer applying makeup with your hands, but they also apply really well with kind of flat brushes, and I just adore these. I think they are amazing. The wear time is amazing, the quality of the shadows are amazing, the colours are beautiful. I cannot fault these. They are just gorgeous, gorgeous products. So if you haven't already tried these have been out for a very long time, but if you haven't already tried these, I would definitely recommend picking them up. Okay, so I have a ton of lip products. I don't even know where to start. This was meant to be a top 10, by the way, and I couldn't even whittle it down to anywhere near 10, so we're gonna roll with this. Firstly, I'm gonna talk about something that is kind of new to Boots. So if you're in the UK and you love shopping at Boots, then you might have seen that Boots have recently started stocking NYX or NYX. Lots of people say it in different ways, but I was so excited when I saw the huge NYX counter in my Boots, and the first things I picked up straight away were the matte lip creams. I have so many shades. These are not the only 3 that I own. I actually pretty much bought all the stock because I just wanted all of them. So the shades I have here are Buenos Aires, Stockholm and Morocco, and they are some of my favourite shades of the whole range. So you have Buenos Aires, which is like a beautiful peachy nudie pink. I will swatch these for you. These aren't the most pigmented, but they are so comfortable to wear, and the colours of them are just beautiful. They do take a couple of minutes to settle down a bit. I do find they're very, very liquidy and creamy when you first apply them, but they do settle down to more of a creamy matte finish, and I just think that the colours are so beautiful. I love this one so much. It's just like the perfect everyday pinky peachy colour. And then we have Stockholm, which is a gorgeous brownie nude, my kind of colour, so it looks like that. And then we have Morocco, which is a beautiful red. I love this. I think that it's just so gorgeous. So these are my 3 favourites from the range. So I'd highly recommend looking at these if you are looking for a new liquid lipstick, because the shades in this are just gorgeous. Like, I just want to smother my face in Stockholm right now just looking at it. I'm just like, Next I have a couple of lipsticks from Maybelline, and these are their, what are these called? Colour Sensational Matte Lipsticks. I arrived very late to the party with these. These were always out of stock in my local Boots store, but more recently I managed to get my hands on a couple of them and I've just fallen in love with the texture of these. My favourite, very obviously, if you can't tell by the 2 here, is number 930, which is Nude Embrace. This is a beautiful brownie nude. Like, oh my god, it is beautiful. I love this. I've been wearing this a lot this year. It's just my go-to everyday matte nude lipstick, so that is what it looks like. I'm doing really jaunty angles here. But then I also have Divine Wine, which is one that is impossible to get hold of. Whenever I go into a Boots, it's never in stock. And I think that is partly down to the YouTube hype, because these have been so hyped up over the years, and I definitely would say they are worth the hype. They're really long lasting, they're very creamy, but they do look completely matte, and I just love them so much. So Divine Wine is a lot darker, and I cannot wait to get more out of this in the autumn and winter time. So now I'm moving on to skincare, and I thought I'd get this one out the way first because I've talked about it a lot on my Snapchat and my YouTube channel recently. This is the Garnier Skin Active New Micellar Oil Infused Cleansing Water. I love this. I think it takes off my makeup so quickly and easily. It is always difficult when you recommend micellar waters because depending on what mascara you wear, everything works differently for you. But for me, I find that with the mascaras I wear, which aren't waterproof mascaras, this just takes off makeup so well and it's really comfortable on my eyes, and I don't find that it stings my eye area a lot. I know everyone is different and some people have experienced that, but for me, I just think that this is the best micellar water, and I'm so happy that I found it because I was spending a lot of money on micellar waters before this and I just absolutely love this. I do find that it can be a bit uncomfortable if I use too much on the cotton pad and I kind of managed to get it in my eye. That's not comfortable, but I don't think ever having any form of liquid in your eye is comfortable. So yeah, it's actually pretty good for the fact that it doesn't burn my eyes when it gets in my eyes. So I'm really happy with using this one, and I would highly recommend it if you use things like Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara or Max Factor False Lash Effect. If you use any of the mascaras I use, I would highly recommend picking this up because it takes off those mascaras like a dream. Now we have a mask which was talked about so much a few years ago, and the hype around this has kind of died down now, but I'm still absolutely loving it. It's the Body Shop Vitamin E Sink In Moisture Mask, and I have used so much of this. This thing comes pretty full, and over the past, I think, year or so, I've used so much. It may have been more than a year. I may need to get a new one of these soon, actually. But this is just a beautiful hydrating mask. I use it in the mornings a lot, just whilst I'm getting ready and pottering around the house before I put my makeup on. I'll pop this on generously all over my face and just let it sink in. And for me, with my very dehydrated skin, I just find that it works wonders, especially on my dehydration lines on my forehead. It just really sinks in and makes my skin look a lot more plump and hydrated. And I find that by the time I go to apply my base makeup, it goes on smoother and just looks so much better throughout the day. So I would definitely recommend picking this up if you have dehydrated skin, whether you're oily dehydrated, dry dehydrated, normal dehydrated. Finally, I have a couple of hair care products, the first of which I've actually been using for longer than I care to admit. I've been using this since I was 13 when Beyonce used to advertise this on the TV, and I was like, I want to be like Beyonce. I just got my first pair of straighteners and had promised my mum that I would always use heat protectant, and still to that day have always used heat protectant. But this is my all-time favourite affordable heat protectant and hair smoother. If you like straight hair and your hair is naturally quite coarse and frizzy, this is such a good product to use. It's the L'Oreal Paris Studio line Hot and Sleek. This is basically a heat protecting smoothing lotion for your hair. I have used this for such a long time. I straighten my hair pretty much every day. I use this at least every other wash, so basically whenever I know that I'm going to be wearing my hair straight, I will use this. And I honestly think it's done such a good job of protecting my hair because I have been straightening my hair pretty much daily since I was 13, and my hair just is always in such good condition, and hairdressers never believe that I straighten my hair daily. I would highly recommend using this if you are a straighteners addict like I am. And finally, we have my favourite affordable texturizing spray. This is from Tresemme. It's their Perfectly Undone Dry Defining Spray, and I love this. This has got a tiny amount left in it. I can feel it when I shake it. For me, I prefer this to the likes of the Orbay Dry Texturizing Spray and Bumble and Bumble Surf Spray. I feel like it helps to make my hairstyle look more lived in, but without making it too piecey. I really don't like it when texturizing sprays just make my hair kind of clump together in bits. For me, my hair already does that, and I find that I don't need that extra stickiness. I want something that's going to make the hairstyle look a bit more loose and undone and lived in, and that will give it a bit more texture and grip as well, and this one does that. I love it. This for me is my second favourite texturizing spray, next to the Way Dry Texturizing Spray, which I've been using recently, and that stuff is incredible, but that is not for this video because it is incredibly expensive. But this is actually a very good dupe for that, so I would highly recommend this. This is just my fave. So that is it for my affordable products worth the hype and worth purchasing. Don't forget to check out Michelle's affordable products worth the hype on her channel. I will link it somewhere around here for you to go and watch. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are new. I would love to have you back here. But that is it from me today. I hope you're all having the best day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.